Liverpool.
I don't want to make this video, but 6 straight fucking defeats. It's got to be made. It's got to happen. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Cock Council. Honestly, I need a bit of laughter after today, anyway. But yeah, hello, everyone. Hopefully, having a fantastic day as always. And yeah, welcome to what could be an angry show, could be a happy show, could be just an anger management show, however you want to watch them anyway. But as you can see, I am joined by 2 very special guests. First of all, Jack Mack, LFC. Jack, how you doing, mate?
Yeah, no, I needed to speak to both of you because I've been sat in the PS party just speaking to you, Connor. I come off so angry, and then I think I flipped on Connor in the PS, and I flipped on everyone in the party, and I was like, "You were like, how dare you speak to us?" But it just gets on me tits, really. The way Liverpool are playing, it affects not just my mood, your mood, everyone watching, all of our fans, because it plays a big part of our life. Watching Liverpool, it means so much to us, mate. But it was good that you just look at that intro, mate. Just look at how far we have come over the last couple of years, anyway, from probably how poor we were considering. But it doesn't help that we're losing football games, but we will eventually turn this run of bad results round, and there's no doubt about that. Jurgen Klopp is the man going forward. I believe he's done so much for us at the football club. But yeah, thank you very much for having me on, mate. It's been an absolute pleasure. It's lovely to speak to you, Doug and yourself. Hopefully everything going is keeping safe and well.
Absolute pleasure, man. And yeah, like Jack said, it will turn around someday. Might be in the very long distant future, but yeah, someday. And anyway, but of course, we're also joined by Doug from the Dugout Football Channel. Doug, how you doing, mate?
I could be better. To be honest, I'm gonna just say this up front now. I've been struggling this week. I think this is the first week I've actually been struggling through this whole lockdown. Liverpool have just made my life a lot better. But no, thank you very much for having me. It's good to speak to you and Jack. But yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I've shared this in the community tab, so hopefully loads of people will come over and watch another very good video on a very good Liverpool channel.
Well, thank you for that. I thanked you in private, but yeah, thank you again for that. And yeah, it's been a while since we posted on this. Apologies for that. If you know did I put it on Twitter or Instagram? I probably put it on Twitter. Anyway, but my nan has come back. She's home from hospital, so it's been kind of a mad week and a bit. So sorry for the lack of videos. Hopefully you can understand that, but to be awfully honest with you as well, who wants to make Liverpool videos at the minute as well? So
how's she doing?
She is doing fantastic. She's downstairs, I think, watching Country File, or whatever's on the telly. I don't have a clue. I'm not gonna lie.
She better not be watching the highlights of today's game.
I was the friend. She asked me how the game went, and I just said, "Nan, go away. Just go away." Anyway, but I know Anthony is in here as well. I know that Tom's in here. I know that all of you are here, and my 2 words for you is "fuck off." Like, honestly,
we love you all, really.
I like the banter. But Anthony, Leicester is shite. Says good evening, everyone.
Liverpool bottling top 4, lads. It sounds.
Well, Leicester did it last year. It's our turn this year. Diego says Benteke header, half-time, Spurs 1, Palace 1. Ooh, very, very interesting. It says as well. Seamus, with the very depressed emoji face. Yep, I fully understand where you're coming from, Seamus. Diego says, stay strong, lads. I think we will. I don't think we'll get downbeat anyway. Imagine, and I'll say this right now. I'll get to Tom's comment, but let's just imagine right here, right now, if Liverpool finish where we are right now and somehow won the Champions League. Is that acceptable? Is that acceptable?
It's the most Liverpool thing to do. So I know it would have to be a lot of good teams, but it's the most Liverpool thing to do, isn't it?
Well, we did it in 04-05, and well, Everton did finish above us that year, but then we got Champions League off them. So if we can do that again, that would be kind of nice. But sadly, that doesn't work like that this time around anyway. But where was Tom's comment? Yeah, it's all right, boys. Let it all out. To be fair, Tom, I'm just gonna leave this here. I'm just gonna leave this here. So
At least we know what it means to be like an Everton fan losing games of footy. Wait, what?
I'm so sorry. I saw that on Facebook and I was like, it's too nice not to put on the stream anyway. But, like Jack said, it will be nice to. It's not nice to find out what it's like, what it has been for Everton over the last couple of years. Bayer with the lol. Diego says, "Well done, LCFC Bayer, on your win." My chat has scrolled all the way up. I hate it when it does that. There we go. Kyle, I believe that is. I've got a fun fact for you. When you last played Arsenal, you were 12 points clear of them, but for the next fixture, you could be behind them. That's how depressing things are. We could even be behind Arsenal. Jesus Christ.
I think Wigan might be coming through the divisions and coming back into the Premier League.
Well, to be fair, well, our friend Brian did put something in that Liverpool have got
the worst home record
since
the turn of the year, which is mad. Out of all the divisions in England,
92 clubs. Yeah,
mad.
Is there any other sport that we can support over the next 2 months? Any? Well, to be fair, F1's coming back, so that's a good thing. To be fair, but let's get on talking about the match then a little bit, because sadly we have to talk about it a little bit. Of course, as you can see on your screen right now, here are the stats for the game, and I think that thumbnail is the perfect one from the Sky Sports highlight thing. Just Shaqiri getting what looks to be very, very angry. Anyway, but as you can see, 16 shots for Liverpool, 3 on target. We actually got a shot on target, and it was 3 of them for once. 64% possession, dominated passes, pass accuracy, and blah, 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 blah. What was interesting today, of course, was actually the lineups. As you can see, Liverpool starting with, unusual characters in, Neco Williams, Nat Phillips, Reece Williams, Naby Lad, back into the midfield. Now, of course, that's playing Shaqiri and Jota up front instead of Bobby Firmino and Sadio Mane. Anyway, but Jack, I'll get on to you first about this. Of course, we have to come up with something new, don't we? We have to come up with a new solution. And of course, I've seen many people on Twitter and of course all of social media saying, Klopp, obviously them saying Klopp out, and now they're getting really frustrated that the injury side of things, that whole talk is just a load of nonsense. Now, for me personally, it's getting boring now talking about it, and I feel like Liverpool over the last couple of weeks we should have had time to maybe adapt the system, but Klopp hasn't done that at all. What are your thoughts and opinions on the changes today, and what we have to do really to get things back on track? Oh, you're muted.
Oh, there we go. So luckily it's all right. Didn't miss much. But you've got no beating around the bush. Apologies for my language, but we've been absolutely shite. We've been shite the last couple of weeks, and there's nothing else better to describe it. We're not done a city, but other opposition teams have been better. And really, and I try and be as positive as I possibly can. You can whatever excuse you want to pull out your backside, injuries, VAR, against tactics, whatever. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. But for me, it comes down to the fact of yes, we need the changes, and I think every Liverpool fan called for that pre-Fulham game, and it was lovely to see Naby back in the starting 11. Fantastic to see him back after his long absence. The defence, the goal on which we conceded, it was a sloppy mistake by Salah, not just him, but there was another like 10 defenders in front of him. Like the game against Chelsea, shocking defending, no one closing down the spaces. Really, there was no leadership in that midfield today. Obviously missing Henderson, and that's clear as day. As much as everyone loves to bash, not everyone, but the small minority love to bash Henderson, doesn't do nothing. So supposedly that's what they say, but his leadership quality is so massive in that midfield. But yeah, it's frustrating, mate. We've just got to salvage come the end of the season, put a bit of run of form together.
Yeah.
I tell you, if Liverpool do get into the top four, and I don't think we will, but if we somehow manage to get into top four and other teams in and around us allow us to get in, that's not all good Liverpool. It's how poor the rest of the other Premier League has been. And everyone loves to bash how bad Liverpool have played this season. Yes, we have. And we played, as I said before, but yeah, it makes me angry. But as I said, we've been so spoilt over the last 2 to 3 years, watching Liverpool week after week after week after week after week win football games, and it's about time like we suck it up, because there's no beating around the bush. As I said before, we're not going to be naive to the fact and say, oh yeah, Liverpool dominated that game. Yes, we're dominating possession, but we haven't got a clue when we're getting in and around the box. It's like almost we forgot how to score goals. So yeah, apologies everyone for my language, but that was probably the best way to describe it.
To be fair, you can say whatever the hell you want, because to be honest with you, I think we deserve to say whatever the hell we want. You know, look, at the end of the day, it is a frustrating thing. Like, not only do we have to put up with COVID and we have to put up with lockdown and things like this, we have to watch our football team play absolutely shite. And it's not fun. You know, and like Jack said, we've got spoilt over the last couple of years in watching Liverpool win week after week after week. And now that the injuries has happened, and now we've had, you know, we can talk, like Jack said, we can talk about VAR decisions, we can talk about this, we can talk about that. But at the end of the day, at this moment in time, Liverpool Football Club are not playing like Liverpool Football Club.
I don't even know what it is, mate. I don't. Everyone, when you're watching, you're like, what does it matter? Is there something behind closed doors that we don't know? That there's been a big, massive argument between the players, because they seem to be all disjointed. They all be doing old stuff within the game that the connection's not there as it has been like the last 2-3 years.
In my opinion, I would call it mental fatigue. I think, like we said, Liverpool have been on winning every single game practically for the last 3 years. And I think this year it's just been a burnout year for us, where I think if we're for example, like today, if we had gone down 1-0 a year ago, like we did, I think all of us can pretty much guarantee, we'd all be confident that we can score 2 goals to get a win. And I think even the first couple of games of this season, I think we could still think and feel that we could do it and try and, get 2 goals anyway. But Doug, what are your opinions, mate, on, the system and, why it's not working at the minute?
First of all, I liked the lineup. I thought it was freshened up. I think looking at the lineup, we had Nat Phillips and Reece Williams. I don't know what's happening with Ben Davis. I don't know if he's injured or anything, but he's holding on the bench again. And then you look at the midfield, it was Van Elden, Milner and Keita. Now, on paper, that's a very good midfield, but I don't think it worked today. I think you were missing like Thiago. I don't think Curtis Jones. I know Curtis Jones has been probably one of our best players this season, but I don't think he deserved to be dropped. And then Mane dropped for Shaqiri, and then Jota came in for Firmino. I thought Jota had a very good game, but what's happening? I think it's the 4-3-3. We seem to keep going for that every single week. Just freshen it up. Do like a 4-2-3-1 or was it a 4-4-2 and when I think Manny came on and it was Jota and Salah up front or something earlier, if I remember rightly. But yeah, I would definitely freshen it up for sure. But the one thing I would say, stop going with a 4-3-3. Try something different. Try something like a 4-3-2-1 or even a 4-2-3, 4-3-2-1. Just something different. Just something different. But what I will say, it was nice to see Neco Williams in the right back slot, I thought. He hasn't played many games, and that will do him the world of confidence going into the Euros.
Yeah, it will. And I think you're right by the sense of, there hasn't been much change from the 4-3-3. I thought today might have been a bit different with Shaqiri potentially playing. Maybe he might have played centrally. He might have played, maybe on the left, and we might have seen that. But, well, he did play on the left, and it was a 4-3-3 again. And it's just that, again, for me, that has been the real question mark for this season. I think the last 2 years at least, I can remember, it might be only like a 2 or 3 game period, but Liverpool would play a 4-2-3-1 and it would work. We would win, games against, I remember, two seasons ago, I think it was Cardiff at Anfield. We switched to 4-2-3-1 after playing 4-3-3 for pretty much almost the game, and then we scored 2 goals and win the game. And that, for me, has been the biggest letdown for me this year, is the fact that Klopp hasn't decided to change anything. He hasn't decided to, go on the gamble. We're losing games at the minute, so why not go with the gamble and play a 4-2-3-1 and see what it's like? You have Thiago that's just come from playing 4-2-3-1 in a Bayern side, which exactly that he can play alongside. You've got obviously Kabak. Of course, today was injured, but he is there. You've got Nat Phillips. That's absolutely fantastic. I thought he had a okay game today. You've got, like Doug said, you've got Ben Davies to come in. There's plenty of centre backs there. I want to see Fabinho back in midfield now, because
yes,
it's
100%.
Because when he come on for was it Genie? He come on for he changed that midfield instantly, and that's the thing that's annoying now. We need him in that midfield role.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree with you. And I think looking at the substitution today, might we see Gini Wijnaldum on the bench against Leipzig? Because let's be honest, Gini Wijnaldum and Andy Robertson have probably played the most minutes out of anybody in the Premier League this season.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'd agree with you, boys. I think Liverpool. Everyone, let us know your comments in the comment section below. We started with like a 4-2-3-1 beginning of the season, didn't we? With Jota up top or it floating in behind anyway, and it was doing the business. We were winning 2-1, 1-0s. And as Connor mentioned there, Thiago, I think he was brought in to play a 4-2-3-1. Obviously, he's very adept, as you mentioned. He played that system at Bayern, Liverpool, with the pivot of either obviously Thiago or a Henderson or Thiago, Fabinho, ideally. But we've never. Well, it'd be interesting. I'd be very interested to see a pivot of obviously when everyone's back fully fit. If we do go to a 4-2-3-1, because I think we need to. I think when you look at Man City this season, they've evolved their game. United they evolved their game season after season after season. It's eventual in European football all around the world. Systems get found out, and it's up to the managerial managers throughout the seasons to select a system. And I think going forward, I think you'll see a lot of changes up front anyway. And as Doug mentioned, he alluded to the rotation of certain players, that's needed. But when you look at Liverpool's bench, it's nowhere near where we need to be in terms of, obviously the bench today was very expensive.
I'd actually argue that today was probably our strongest bench for a long time.
It was our strongest bench of the season, without a doubt. Yeah. It's no doubt at all. But guys, let us know your thoughts anyway. What would you change personally anyway? With Liverpool at the minute, I would probably say, like we've discussed, I'd say probably 4-2-3-1 is the way forward. With Jota, of course, getting back into match fitness, and then the real question is who plays alongside Thiago in the 2. for me, it's Fabinho all day long. And I think it's everyone else's opinion, of course, anyway. But Diego says, the key players at Liverpool for me look overplayed. I don't understand what's happening to your Liverpool. Neither do we, Diego, anyway. Chris says, I'm not making excuses for this season. Chris, null and void? Question mark. Kyle's gone. Ant's the worst person to have when you have lost. Yeah, Anthony is the worst person ever. No, but we love Anthony. If you don't get UCL, I reckon Leicester should out a check bid for God's sake. That's never going to happen. To bugger off, Tom. Bayer says to Kyle to clean Ricardo's. Trent's way better than Ricardo. Calm down. Actually, not this season. Last season. Chris says we are judged what we do on the pitch, not blaming injuries. No fans and VAR decisions for our. Oh Christ, I can't say that word.
Atrocious.
Atrocious. Thank you, Douglas. Downfall this season. I definitely can't spell. Kyle's got the laughters. F1 starts soon. Woohoo. Yep, it does indeed. Probably very much looking excited to see what Sebastian Vettel does at AlphaTauri, fucking hell, at Aston Martin. I was going to say Racing Point to begin with. Liz is in saying, hi guys, I am so very, very sad. Don't worry, Liz, we're all sad as well. And if you want to swear and shout and scream in the comments, I'll allow it. Just don't be nasty to each other. Bayer says evening to Liz. Liz says, when does the British NBA play? Question mark. I don't know.
Not too sure.
Haven't a clue, to be honest.
Ask Google. Ask Google. Liz says hi to Bayer as well. What else do we have? Let me scroll up because there is a fair old few comments. Liz says hi to Diego as well. Anthony says, to be fair, you haven't adapted to injury, still playing a line on the halfway line, always going to be playing with fire. Yeah, it is. Like we said, we haven't adapted to it whatsoever, to be fair, anyway. But yeah, that's the thing. I think that's just it needs to happen. Klopp does need to adapt to the system and the changes. So Klopp says, someone showed me the muscle injury stat yesterday and my jaw nearly dropped to the floor. No other club in the world has a list that long. Yeah, I believe it's only Genie, Robbo, and Bobby, I believe, that haven't had COVID or have picked up an injury so far in the Liverpool squad, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think I saw that on Twitter the other day. Liz says, a predictable game plan when you don't have the players is freaking dumb. Yeah, it is. That's the same comments that, I think all of us can agree on. It is just that in itself, really, Liz. Kyle says Leicester and Palace have many injuries, both of them. Change systems. Klopp's stubborns is a huge strength, but it costing him this season. Yeah, and I think, and I'll ask the lads this as well. I've seen a few people on Twitter, going on about it yesterday, and it was Klopp's comments about, if we're not in the Champions League, and the players that won Champions League, if they're not happy, they can leave. And that was, practically Klopp's words yesterday. I'll ask Doug this first. Were you surprised that he come out and said, such a thing? Talking, if the player, whichever player it is, if they're not happy that we haven't got Champions League, he can just leave. Do you think that's a specific target to someone, or do you think that's just a general thing that he's put out there?
I think it's a general consensus in the squad, I think, because you look at some of the players, like I believe that Salah's agent has been really angry at the fact that Salah got substituted last week against Chelsea. So, look, agents are part and parcel of football. You can't get rid of them, but unfortunately, some of them are just, they're pricks. Basically, like one in particular, Mino Raiola, Honestly, it's just ridiculous to me. But what I think Klopp said, I think it was a bit of a. I don't think it was a bit of a dig, but I think it was maybe a message to players like Gini Wijnaldum, who I do believe that he has basically got a handshake agreement on Inter Milan next season. Now, that's what I've heard, so don't quote me on that. But that's been reported in the press as well, and Salah's agent as well. So, yeah, basically, if you're not happy at Liverpool, then basically, Klopp said that I don't think he wants stragglers. I think he wants people who are committed to the cause. And unfortunately, the last couple of weeks have kind of proven to him that the players have definitely let him down.
Yeah. No, I absolutely agree with you.
Because you had to watch that performance. Yeah, you had to watch that performance today. I think he is like a living, breathing fan himself. He loves his football club, Klopp. And he's probably like us. He's probably like looking on the sideline and going, all right, I know exactly which one of yous are going in the summer. Because it shows a lot.
He's like a dragon, isn't he? He's like a dragon. Yeah. It reminds me of a joke someone said to me. I'd hate to be a dragon. I would get so angry blowing out my birthday candles.
Yeah, no, it's the thing, he'll know himself and he'll have his own vision, and he knows how to change this Liverpool team to get it back to winning ways anyway come next season. It is a massive summer, but you've got to get through the next couple of weeks and just hopefully finish well, and obviously in the Champions League, that's a big if, but he'll know himself, and those comments just scream to me that he's had a couple of busts up in the changing room, and he's had enough for a couple of those players.
And I do not want to end up in that bloody Europa, whatever it's called, Conference League, playing teams like Karabag FC and Ludogorets, Razgrad, and all this nonsense from Scandinavia.
It needs more minutes in the tank to get players injured again, even more. They need a rest.
Yeah, but it's not. It's hard though, isn't it? Because we've got the Premier League season. Of course, we got this season. Then we got the Euros. Then it's another Premier League, another league season. Then it's the World Cup. Then another league season. It's not going to be. Unless of course you're not either going to the World Cup or you're not in the Euros. You're not getting really much time off, are you?
And the thing is with the World Cup, it's a winter World Cup. It's the 21st of November to the 18th of December. How on earth are they going to be able to get this? Like, the scheduling for that season is going to be so interesting. I don't think we ever had a winter World Cup before, but it's completely impossible to play in the summer in Dubai when I think it's about 50-60 degrees centigrade over there. You would probably kill the players playing in that heat in the World Cup.
I think they're just going to do like a big winter break. Realistically, instead of it being like 2 weeks, it'll probably be a month. Like, obviously a month off, like regular football, and then it'll just be added on to the end of the season. That's what I think is going to happen.
I think in the next couple of years, though, I think you will see, yes, Liverpool being battered by injuries, but I think it will be a case next season, obviously the season after, when these competitions are happening in the Prem, European competition, Champions League. Everything will compile for every club. Obviously, Liverpool are top of that list at the minute, but I think come next season, obviously City will strengthen, but I think next season you'll see a lot more teams crippled due to injuries, and I think it will make a very interesting league, because it'll just open up the league even more if like a couple of big players from each individual team are getting injured. It's just been Liverpool being lucky with injuries prior to this season. Obviously we had the odd injury to play here and there, but not to the extent of this year. But I think come next season, I think there will be a lot more injuries to other opposition players.
Yeah, it will. And when, like, I want to ask you two this. We talked a little bit about it as well, and we talked about, of course, this summer is a huge summer because it does look like it's going to be, a huge in and out window for Liverpool. Which players are we saying at the minute is, definitely out of the door for the summer? Like, for me, I think Gini's out the door. I think Divock Origi's out the door. I think it'll just be stragglers then. Maybe we might sell Shaqiri. Maybe
Ox as well.
Ox might go. Adrian's definitely gone, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm.
because obviously his contract runs out at the end of the season. So we'll have to buy a new backup goalkeeper, a new replacement for Divock Origi, and of course a midfielder for Gini Wijnaldum. So are we in agreement there, or do we think there could be more out of the door?
You're going to hate me. I think Naby Keita could be out the door.
No.
I don't think he'll be gone. I think we spent too much money on him and too much money on his.
I've got a funny feeling. I just have this very, very funny feeling that we might see him go. I think Matip might go as well.
Yeah, I think Matip. Yeah,
and I think Phillips might go as well.
Yeah.
Especially if Liverpool do go big in the transfer window. We need a world-class centre-back, another one. Because we don't know how quick. We need to go on buy Koulibaly. I know it's as easy as saying, oh, he's going to come be expensive and yet he's old. But Liverpool want to win titles. We need the best centre-backs.
Well,
Koulibaly. Yeah, I tell you, Koulibaly.
Christian Falk did say that Liverpool are interested in, seriously interested in Koulibaly, which is frightening. Because for a 29, 30-year-old,
yeah,
for 100 million that's been quoted, yeah. I'm all right, Chief. I'll keep Nat Phillips, thanks. But yeah, it is going to be interesting, and to be fair, we're talking more about transfer window than this actual game. That's how far ahead we're looking forward to, guys, because we don't want to watch the rest of the season anyway. But let's get to a few of your comments. Well, also as well, guys, let us know your thoughts. Who do you think will go out, and who would you like in as well? Maybe we might do a podcast on that, maybe in the week, about transfers and who we'd like in and who we'd like out. Anyway, because you guys always like those types of videos. Anyway, so Klopp says training intensity has to be called into question. But to be fair, Liverpool sacking the whole physio department, for cost cuts is a bit of a mad one that I don't think anyone's mentioned. Thank you, Liz. I'm not going to read all that out. Liz says mental fatigue, maybe, but suck it up better, cups to do your down jobs. Yeah, absolutely. Diego says, I agree. The players and manager need a timeout. If there's any manager that should be given a pass this season, it should be your Klopp, says Diego. Anthony says, you're playing 4-3-3 on the halfway line with a shit defence and next to no cover in the midfield unless you dominate possession and press the ball. You're asking for trouble. Yeah, I agree. Absolutely spot on there, Ant. Diego says, damn, Spurs just scored again. Bale, 49th minute. Oh no. Oh no, indeed. Fabinho is our best available centre-back, but we need him in midfield. Yeah, absolutely agree. It's 3-1 now to the Spurs. World class by Harry Kane, says Anthony. Where we buy. Let's scroll back up. Diego, the angry face. Oh no, Diego. Oh no. Philip says, Fabinho, hello, I haven't seen you before, so hello, Philip. Says Fabinho has to go back into midfield, no question about it. Yeti Boy says the Leicester recheck scored then. Of course, that being Harry Kane. We also need to find a consistent centre-back partnership. Obviously easier said than done, but the amount of different centre-back pairings that we played is ridiculous. Yeah, I believe again today was a new centre-back pairing, lads, if I'm not mistaken.
Did I hear one of you or someone on... Yeah, is it 22nd, Doug? That's ridiculous.
22nd partnership this season.
That's and you're wondering why we're losing games at the back. You can see the sloppy goals. It's consistent levels, and any level or any job, you need consistency with obviously your work colleagues, and you get a better partnership going. But that's stupid. But it comes down to Liverpool. Yes, you can't predict the future. Jurgen's not a telepathic Doctor Strange. Can't see into the future anyway. But yeah, Liverpool need to strengthen in the summer. Massively in our defence, because you've seen how week it is this season.
Yeah, absolutely agree. The 1892 Red podcast. Hello, lads. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Says Klopp underwater now. If he doesn't win the Champions League, he may be gone. Not in my opinion, lad. I think Klopp is here to stay, and rightfully so. Apparently, it was aimed at Salah, says Kyle. I think that was the comments that we talked about. Hopefully, Inter have him. I'll drive him there. I know that.
That's definitely Ricky.
Ricky. That is definitely Ricky.
That's definitely Ricky. He cannot. I don't think he likes Wijnaldum as a player. I think Luke is more a bit more senimental to that fact. Conservative, but Ricky doesn't like Wijnaldum.
Siva says, I'm not Klopp out, but at the end of the day, football is a result business, unfortunately. And how long can this last? It's Champions League or bust now. Yeah, it is. And that's kind of, where we're at the minute. It is Champions League or nothing at the minute. And we talked about, of course, 4-2-3-1. Does that happen in the Champions League? Potentially. Carl says, Doug with the dad jokes. Ace says, at the end of the storm, there's a golden sky. There is indeed. Doug, respect. For God's sake, Sean away. Jesus.
But yeah, Jürgen.
To be fair, Anthony, I have noticed that the Eurovision Song Contest was in Azerbaijan a couple of years ago, so I was like, yeah, okay. To the question of that, Maguire, no, thank you.
To the Premier League, we do winter breaks, don't we?
I think it was like for the week. It's basically not really.
They split down the middle, don't they? The first 5 teams play, and then the second 5 teams play. But we don't have that this season.
No, well, said by the Red podcast, even with World Cup in winter, straight away back to the Premier League football. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Europa Conference could be an extra revenue stream. Yeah,
and especially if that rumour is to believed, if Nike can walk away if Liverpool don't get top 4. I tell you, that wouldn't be the case.
True?
I don't think that would be the case because the sheer amounts of money they're charging for kits.
Well, at the end of the day, they'd have to pay us like over 100 plus million because of course it's like a 6-year contract we signed with Nike, a 5-year contract with Nike. Yeah. So
but yeah, Klopp needs backing. Like seriously, it's a big question marks. Like Pep Guardiola got backed in the summer, and he bought Diaz and Aki. But it's about time Jürgen, in his managerial career, had some money to spend. Yes, he went out and bought Alisson and Van Dijk. Whoa, Van Dijk, Alisson and Van Dijk. But we sold Coutinho that summer. Well, a couple of, didn't we? In and around that time, and that was financing those deals. But Jürgen at Dortmund, at Mainz, and possibly at Liverpool, he had to sell his possibly best players to bring players in. And this fella, if you give him, we need to give him money. He's brought in great players like Robinson as well. Brought in Keita, Fabinho, a whole host goes on. But he needs to get backed. And if the case is the same thing next season, and Liverpool are like, oh, we bought all these players in, spent all this money. But I tell you, there will be a massive improvement if Liverpool had better squad depth to what we currently do have.
Yeah. Well, you look at it then, they're not even playing Ake, Manchester City. He's like, where's he been for the last 4 months?
He's been injured, but even still, like when he's still there, didn't he? He's still probably better.
I don't think he's injured now.
No.
Is he? Like,
no, it's just their squad depth is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's how mad they are. Philip says FSG need to get the checkbook out and actually spend big in the summer. A massive rebuild needed to happen. The current squad can only do so much before it needs refreshing up again. Yeah,
that's what I just said, and I didn't even see that message. Right?
Yeah, exactly. And you look at it, and I always remember when Man City first won their title, and I think the next year, I think they made one signing, and then they were like 13, 14, 15 points away from Manchester United the next season. And I think over the next like 2 seasons, they had a rebuild, and then they went again. Then, of course, with different managers, of course, Pep Guardiola recently, and that is what we need to go do again. Not necessarily get a new manager, of course, but we need, like Jack said, we need that 4, 5, 6 signings that take away, just take us away realistically. We need an out-and-out number 9. Yes, we can all dream of Haaland, Mbappe, but realistically, we're looking at Daka from Salzburg, and we're looking at different types of deals like this and that. And of course, Liverpool will look at players that we don't even look at. Like, look at the French centre back for Marseille. He was close to joining Liverpool, but sadly, Marseille couldn't find a replacement. Yeah. You look at Ben Davies, for example. Don't think any of us looked at Ben Davies realistically for a target. Liverpool will always find a gem out of nowhere. We found Jota. Well, we didn't really find Jota, but you get what we mean. He looks like a solid player. We found Robbo, we found Genie, we found all these different players that we could go on and on and on about. And it'll happen again because we've had so much success rate from what we're doing at the minute. It's brilliant, and it will happen again. And we can look at probably a signing and go, oh, 6 million for him, 8 million for him, and then he could be the next Mo Salah, banging in goals week in, week out. So just trust in everyone at Liverpool at the minute anyway. But Red Podcast says more centre back partnerships than Premier League teams. Red Podcast also says I'm actually confident our next 3 games are away at the Reds. Lol. Yeah, we'll win all of them now. To be fair, Kyle says you laugh, but Leicester, Wolves, and Everton and Villa will be backed in the summer. If Klopp doesn't, you could really be struggling. Yeah, I agree. Liz says, have a good rest of your day / night, everyone. I hope Klopp brings down hellfire on the squad and improves something. Have a absolute brilliant comment.
Have a good night, Liz, anyway.
Yeah, hopefully have a fantastic rest of your night.
Nice hunchback quote there.
Yeah, but Liz, have a fantastic rest of your day. Edward says, I'm not even sure if Davies is a real human being yet. He is could be a cardboard cutout. All we've seen of him. Look, I've seen people going on about Davies and that, and my only thing towards this is look how long Robbo had, look how long Fabinho had. They both had 6 months to learn the football, and they were supposedly, Robbo already a Premier League footballer, and Fabinho, one of the best defensive midfielders in world football. Took them both 6 months, and now he was the best in the league.
I was going to say, if he turns out to be anywhere near as good as Robbo, like, what a deal that could be. And I tell you, it could have just been an absolute classic Michael Edwards masterclass, but we won't know until obviously he starts playing football. But it wouldn't surprise me if this fella is actually, as he becomes established at the back, and there's us talking about centre backs, but you won't know until he's thrust into the limelight. Well, yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Kyle, you say this. Jota was a £40 million signing. Yes, but at the end of the day, it's the way that we signed him as well. Only paying, what was it, 5 million straight up, and then we're playing installments for the next 5 years. So it's such a good deal. Like, and he was very underrated at Wolves, and appreciated, like, from what I've seen, Wolves fans go on about, and that from like the general basis. So we have seen them. Time off for good behaviour, lol. Says Edward. Anyway, but yeah, I think we're going to leave it there for today, guys, because we have been going for 45 minutes.
That's went over so quick, though.
And let's be honest, yeah, it has gone really, really quick. And let's be honest, I think we're all a bit depressed. So we've had a bit of a laugh. We've talked, of course, a little bit about transfers. We've talked a little bit about bits and bobs. We've talked a little bit about this game at the beginning, and yeah, I think we've just talked about transfers and really squad depth and what Liverpool can do next, really, because of course Champions League in midweek, of course, we're 2-0 up. against RB Leipzig. Of course, we're going back to Hungary because we are not playing the second leg at Anfield. We're playing in the Puskás Arena, I believe that's where we're playing. So, back to, where we won 2-0. So fingers crossed that'll be the same midweek. Of course, we will try and get a match preview show out for you guys anyway. But Doug, thank you for coming on, mate. Where can we find you on the socials?
You can find me on YouTube at the Dugout Football channel. You can find me on Twitter at _1992. Look at my Instagram and Twitter mixed up there. You can find me on Instagram at Douglas Horn, and you can find me on Facebook at Douglas James Horn. Thank you very much for having me, Connor, and hopefully things get better on Wednesday.
Yeah, well, we're away from home, so it can only get better. Anyway, but Jack, thank you for coming on, mate. As always, where can we find you on the socials?
Cheers for having me, mate. Jack Mac LFC, as always. Been an absolute pleasure, mate. And it's just looking forward to the Champions League because we play a lot better than that. So fingers crossed, touch wood, everyone. But yeah, I think we'll go to bed soon.
We do. And we definitely will be going to bed soon because we want to forget about this horrible day. I'm not going to lie as well. But guys, please go and check out Jack's Twitch channel as well. I believe it's twitch.tv/JackMacGaming. If I've not put it in the description, then I will remember to put it in there as well. Everyone's is in there. Doug's is in there. Dave's is in there. Jack's in there. The lads from the 1890 Red, I can't speak, the 1892 Red podcast, their links are in there as well, so please go and subscribe to them as well, guys, as well. Great little podcast they have over there. And of course, if you want to subscribe here first, that'll be very much appreciated as always. Hopefully we'll get back on the video grind very, very soon. We'll hopefully be out, I wouldn't say daily content, but a few videos throughout the week. Anyway, but yeah, guys, I think we're going to leave it there. I've been Connor from the Cop Council, and we will see you all hopefully in a little while. See you later, Reds. Ta-ra.